Enigma of the Startunnels, a Bionic Trousers production, starring Kathleen as Inspector Asair, Corey as Robbie Ride, Cameron as Yuri Armstrong, and Ian as Crankor, with Dale Friesen as your narrator. Today's episode, the Space Pirates of Tau Ceti. Having gathered in Big Hank's bar on Space Station Upsilon, our heroes have sent one of their own, Stanley Silver, out in a maintenance buggy toward the abandoned space freighter, the Golden Prism. Suddenly, just before he reached the derelict vessel, an enormous space pirate ship emerged from the star tunnel directly in Stanley's path. As a grabber claw stretched out from the ship's hull towards Stanley's tiny buggy, our heroes looked on, helpless to interfere.
Oh no! Those green screen creeps are gonna grab our Stanley!
More importantly, they're going to get at the magnetic tapes contained inside the Golden Prism. Without those, we have no hope of unraveling the enigma of the Startunnels.
This seems very unfortunate.
So the claw has grabbed the buggy and is pulling it into the hangar bay on the new pirate ship that just arrived.
Perhaps we need to interfere and commandeer a ship from one of the other patrons in this bar to rescue Stanley.
We're the station's defenders.
The Imperial troops? Well, you could call on them if you think that involving the Empire in this is a good idea.
Yes, we must commandeer another ship.
So you see that his worker bee has been shoved into the hangar, and now out of the other end of the ship, there's a big thing opening up, and a radio antenna dish is coming out and is pointing at the station. So if they broadcast to the entire station, you'll be able to hear it on the console in the middle of your table here in the bar. But if they're calling the station administrator or something, you'd need to be able to hack into the communications to see that, which would take some sort of engineering skill or something like that.
Yes. Can we test to see if they're broadcasting to the entire station?
Sure.
Like twiddle the knobs on the radio transceiver.
Yes, so the radio transceiver makes a lovely squelching noise and does not give you anything other than today's drink special and someone's hasty congratulations to the people having the party at the other end of Big Hank's.
Infernal device.
Oh, perhaps they are holding him for hostage. How exciting.
Is there an access panel nearby?
There's not supposed to be, but you could kind of pop something under the table.
Like, hold on, I've got this. And I'm gonna fiddle with it and see if I can receive.
Well, how good of an engineering thing are you doing?
Really good at engineering.
All right, well, let's see it.
So I'm gonna 3. I'm gonna 3 engineering.
All right, so remember you take your skill in engineering.
Yes.
And you add it to your number.
Yes.
And then you tell me a word instead of a number by looking at the cheat sheet that I gave you. You're good.
I'm good.
All right. Well, being good at engineering is what we needed in order for you to listen to this big, loud transmission coming in for the station's commander. And you see it comes up, and there's a guy in, he's got leather straps, but otherwise a bare chest. He's got green skin and green hair and green eyes, and he's like, "Attention, the commander of Space Station Upsilon. Come in, and then he's having some trouble, and they squelch it up, and then the station commander sort of comes up, because there's a split screen now, because this is the future, and we can do that.
Yes.
And he's like, what are you doing here? And the captain's like, there's nothing to worry about. Everything is completely under control. I am Captain Casmarin Kennel, and we are just here for some salvage. I see you have a derelict ship. I don't see an Imperial claim on it anywhere. I'm going to send my first officer over there, and we will carry on. Is that a problem, Station Commander? The Station Commander's like, I don't see why. I don't think there's anybody on the ship. Now, maybe we could do a medical inspection. I don't think that'll be necessary. I'm just going to go on. I have important documents for people on Earth. Oh, well, documents are important, and you do need to get them there. Are you doing anything to try to interfere with this transmission, by the way, or you're just listening?
I'm just listening.
Okay. So, Captain... I just had his name here. Captain Kennel signs off, and there's another larger ship that comes from the pirate ship larger than the worker bee, and goes toward the golden prism. And meanwhile, the pirate ship from Ceti is starting to seal up, and then out of the hangar bay, the worker bee kind of tumbles back toward the station, obviously unmanned.
What have those green-skinned barbarians done with Stanley?
And I must say, the commander of this space station is quite cowardly, isn't he?
Oh, immensely so.
A Utian mega predator couldn't find that man's spine.
Perhaps we need to take matters into our own hands and rescue Stanley immediately. I think haste is of the import here.
But what about the black box?
Well, I feel that once we retrieve Stanley, we can also retrieve the black box.
Stanley will be fine.
Stanley does have a radio watch like all of you.
If he needs us, I'm sure he'll get in contact. That black box is exactly what we're here for, though.
Silver, come in.
Hey guys, I found a free ride to Earth. You know what they have on Earth? They have better parties on Earth than on Space Station Upsilon.
They also have dissection tables, you feeble-minded infant.
Oh.
You have to escape.
Oh, well, I'll just not go to the dissection tables.
You can do that?
I want to go to a party.
I mean, there's a perfectly good party going on here. It looks like
Romeo Sierra, we did it. It says on the big banner on the party at the other end of the big hangs.
Romeo and Sierra finally got hooked.
or unhooked. I'm unsure at the purpose of this union.
Perhaps they're merely sequential letters. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Right. Stanley, can you pilot your bee? What's his worker bee?
Yeah,
He's not on it anymore.
I sent it back because it's not mine. And when they said they'd send me to Earth with them, I thought that was cool.
Oh.
But everything's going to be fine because the name of this ship is the Innocuousness. So clearly I'm with the good guys.
Could we go pick up your worker bee?
Okay.
Well,
See ya. And he disconnects his radio watch.
what a carefree man.
Abrupt.
So Go ahead.
No, I'm. Yuri's mouth is just kind of like, do something.
All right, so the worker bee will get collected if you guys do nothing. It was a one-man thing. There are a bunch of boats in Space Station Upsilon's hangar bay.
Yes.
Now, it's not, according to protocol, for you to just sort of walk in and take it, and I know that might be an issue for some of you, but the ships are there, and as long as some of you have the pilot skill, you should be able to get out to the Golden Prism. Are you going to try to make it there without alerting the innocuousness, or are you going to wait for them to zip off out of station orbit, or are you going to go commandeer a boat and then make that decision?
We can't trust the data tapes on the Golden Prism to those pirates. They have no idea what to do with them. They may try to eat them.
And we can't get over there without a ship.
And we can't get a ship without a pilot.
We won't all fit in the Bumblebee.
All of these things are true.
Going
Well
to
done.
need a larger ship, which means we're going to need to procure one.
We should go somewhere where the rest of the people in this bar cannot hear us. Quick, to the hangar.
Let's hustle off to
So
the hangar.
you hustle off to the hangar. There are high-speed elevators that are just platforms with posts that you can hang on to. They don't need walls anymore because they're just that futuristic. So you zip around the space station and you've gotten yourselves to the hangar. There are a bunch of different boats here. There are some escape craft if something happens to the station. There's one luxury yacht that looks like it has a guard posted outside, but that might be, you know, some sort of robot thing. You're not sure. It's at the other end of the hangar. And then there are a couple of like haulers for parts and whatnot And I would guess there are probably like a dozen bumblebees if you each want to try piloting.
I like the look of that big one, the yacht.
I don't know.
So sleek and stylish.
Also, probably with built-in weapons in case we have to fight the pirates.
Probably very fast.
It's bulbous. It's got rings around it at either end.
Such pleasing design.
It's somewhat conspicuous.
But we don't know how much data we're bringing back, so we might need a larger ship. Let's take the large one. Now, who do I see about requesting access?
Maybe we could go approach that guard. Inquire there. At least track down the owner.
You there, guard!
Who are you who approaches?
I am Crankor. I wished to borrow your vessel.
The Duke is not on board at this time.
Duke?
Do I know who he's referring to? Could I roll lore?
Sure.
Okay. I have a great understanding of who the Duke is.
Oh, so Duke Digglesworth is here on partly an inspection tour and partly just he's touring around the outer solar system and made his way, since he was visiting Pluto and the other planets, he came out to the Kuiper Belt to take a look at the gate anyway, and he has some financial interests in the area, so he's probably lounging around, perhaps in one of the staterooms, or possibly even hanging with the commander of the station.
The Duke has demanded that we go and investigate.
Oh, you should make a deceive roll. Are you good at deceive?
Absolutely not.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing this.
Can I, I do not suffer fools. Can I just bludgeon my way through this social interaction?
So we haven't defined all of your stunts yet.
Okay.
What skill are you thinking that you would be using here instead of deceive? What are you good at that you want to do?
I am one of those people who just is neither reasonable nor denied at things.
So maybe this is a physique thing. You're making you can use your physique skill to
Like project an aura of authority.
yeah.
Okay.
Is that what you're after?
I'm not like physically trying to bludgeon my way through. I'm just like, Yuri almost always gets what he wants because people just want to make him stop talking at them.
Ah.
Oh, so it's just
So
like
you wanted
you're
to tag an
overwhelming them.
aspect, didn't
Yes.
you? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So sure.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, so what you can do with an aspect is you can spend a fate point to invoke your aspect to give yourself +2 on a roll.
Okay. I think I would like to do that.
Sure.
Hold this, please. Daddy needs a new luxury yacht.
I want you to be good at this.
I'm merely average.
So, there are a couple of options here. Since you failed, we can either say it just plain doesn't work and bad things happen, or we can say you succeed, but there's a cost associated. Which would you prefer?
Explain cost.
So, for example, he might say, welcome aboard. I'll go tell him that you have successfully gotten on the ship. And then he would trundle off to go find the Duke.
I don't think being a wanted space criminal is really what we need for an investigation of this nature.
How about we just fail?
As you wish.
What about that trawler over there? It looks excitingly derelict.
I wanted to use my stylish maintenance worker aspect and
Yes.
try to hack the bot into just ignoring us.
Oh, you should do that. Yes, you can get +2 with that fate
Yeah.
point, and then make an engineering check.
Yes. Like, hello there, sir.
Oh.
This is going to be, you need better than good on this. This is going to
I
be
got
harder.
great.
Well, that's gonna work. So, does the bot just no longer see you?
Yep, or the ship.
Or the ship? Mm-hmm. This is very bad. I must tell the Duke his ship has vanished. Trundles off. The ship is yours.
And not an accurate summation of the turn of events that is about to occur, I believe.
You're
All right.
welcome for the distraction.
So who's a pilot?
That's a good question. Who knows how to fly one of these things?
Not I.
I mean, I'm an average pilot.
That's better than me.
Am I the only
I
person with a pilot skill? Yeah. Great.
I slept through Piloting 101.
Oh, fantastic.
I never expected to go anywhere in my life.
Oh, I hope it has autopilot. I'm not particularly good at this.
I've forgotten more about piloting than you currently know.
Oh, I know many things. However, it seems there are a lot of superfluous bits to this ship, so if there are some oopsies and ouches on the way, I think it will still be all right. All of these greebly decorative ring things probably aren't required for the engines to run.
They might vanish.
So are we heading to the Golden Prism?
So, someone say something.
Most assuredly. That's where the tapes are, and those are our primary priority. Hopefully, that man whose name I've already forgotten, who I'm sure we'll run into later, can hold out until then.
Well, he can retrieve
Radio.
it.
Stanley, how are you?
They have whiskey.
He's found a party.
Say, Stanley,
Yeah.
do you think you could have the most fun ever?
Okay, I'll go do that.
All right.
Stanley's gonna be just fine.
Hopefully he'll keep them occupied, or they'll keep him occupied while we're busy.
As long as everyone has an occupation, I'm happy.
So Inspector Assayer is settling into the pilot seat, familiarizing, getting familiar with everything there and figuring out what's where. I need a fair piloting check. This is nice, easy, just ease yourself out of the station, ease yourself up to the Golden Prism. The innocuousness is pulling away. The robot guard has left the hangar. There are no distractions.
All right, so I have a +1 here, and I have a 1. So that makes... Hey! Fair!
All
I made
right.
it!
So, you just made it, but you made it. So, it's perhaps slower than you would be expecting.
Oh, what if I put my foot down on the gas?
And so then you dock with the Golden Prism. Now, you can either go into the hangar bay where you saw that other shuttle go, or you can try to find like an exterior airlock if you want to go in through a different route.
Let's go into the hangar bay. That seems the easiest.
It's absolutely the easiest, and you don't have to make any more rolls if you go into the hangar bay.
Are space pirates heavily armed?
Let's check lore. Superb.
Ooh. So the space pirates of Tau Ceti do like to take people alive. So they're generally heavily armed with stunning weapons. And then they can take their captives off to do who knows what.
They might try to get us to join the party.
How unfortunate.
Could we try an auxiliary airlock?
I kind of think you're already going in the main hangar bay.
Confound it.
So, there is a guard on duty near the shuttle, and he sees you coming in, and he's raising his wrist to his mouth. You have several options here.
Fire forward, Banks.
Yes?
Me?
Are you saying that, or are you doing that?
What?
Just saying.
Bobby, can you jam his communicator?
Can I jam his communicator?
It's gonna be tough.
I'm gonna do it, but I I think I remember where that is in the manual.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Great.
That is going to make it so that everybody can hear that he's trying to communicate, but they can't hear him. So he can hear all the static. Everybody else can hear all the static. You see him like pounding on this, and he sees you. Are you easing the ship to a nice stop? Are you putting the pedal to the metal? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm probably going to plow right into him.
Oh no!
Not on purpose, just to see what will happen.
Don't scrape it up.
So
I
another
turn on the
piloting
windshield
check would be
wipers.
lovely.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful when we saw it. We've had it for 3 seconds.
All pluses.
Wow.
So that gives me superb.
Ooh, see
could
if
you
you
just
can wedge
hang it-
him directly between our ship and his.
Plink him with a landing gear.
Oh, could I do that on a superb? Could I put a landing gear down right on top of him?
I think with the Superb you can do that.
A perfect 3-point landing.
And I think you were distracted by, the don't be so sloppy coming from next to you. But with the Superb, it's going to work anyway. But thanks for doing that. All right. So he's struggling, but he's not getting up because he's got tons of,
Is he just
spaceship-
wedged into the wheel? Like he's not crushed, but he's very stuck?
You're the one who did it with the Superb. I think you tell me.
Oh, so he's definitely still alive. But he's sort of like pinned into the wheel, like in a comical way. And so you can see his feet kicking out one side of the wheel and his head and his shoulders are the other side. And he's quite annoyed.
Yeah, and he's shouting, but he's got, all his equipment and nobody can hear him, and you still hear static coming out of his radio wristband.
Perfect. Excellent.
All right, so you have made it on, but someone presumably is going to come investigate.
I mean, probably several people are going to come investigate now. Can I stop to say hello? Hello, my green friend.
Don't move.
I apologize
Don't
for
even
parking
move.
a ship on you. But you do have to admit I did a very good job doing it.
You have sealed your doom. The millers of Tau Ceti, was that right?
Yep.
Are going to get you for this.
I mean, it was only a little bit of an accident. And think about how novel this experience will be for you. Very few people can say they have been run over by Count Dooku's star cruiser. What's his name again?
Dinglehopper?
Count Dinglehopper's star cruiser and live to tell the tale. This will make an excellent drinking story for you and your friends back home.
I'll make you a wager.
Oh, excellent. I do love interesting propositions.
All right, so you let me go, and then we'll shoot at each other, and then whoever is still standing at the end wins.
How about I start?
I would love to take you up on your offer, but I'm actually not very good at piloting starships, so I'm not sure I can get the ship off you. But do care to have a good day. Goodbye. I have many things to investigate.
Is his arm,
Pinned.
accessible at all?
I'm just going to start walking
Oh,
away.
Or is
had
it
a
between,
question.
I
yeah.
assume he's between two tires, basically.
Yeah.
Is his wrist anywhere visible?
I think maybe you could reach in from the other side and pull the communicator off his wrist if you wanted to. Like, you come down from, his arms are stuck, right? But I feel like you could, get it out.
Okay, I take it out.
Okay, there's loud static coming out of it.
Oh,
Can I adjust it?
Yeah.
Apologies, Captain.
So
The situation is perfectly normal in the hangar.
Hey, the thing.
So a woman's voice comes through, and she's like, Captain Kennel is still on the innocuousness. I'm in command now. Haven't you understood that?
Apologies, I'm merely a feeble-minded space pirate.
Yes, well, I think you're going to have to report to the punishment dome when all this is over.
I look at him.
And He's trying to shout, but I think with a wheel on his chest, he isn't able to get to even the volume that Crankor is managing.
Harsh but fair.
Still
Turn
his
it off.
stun gear.
Yeah, so he has this big rifle.
Yeah. So I've got a gun. Does anyone else not have a gun?
Oh, I have a laser
Oh, right.
pistol.
You each have equipment.
They are
You have the
missing.
nicest gun. Yours is
course I
mauve,
do.
I think.
It is.
Anyone seen an access panel around here? Somewhere we can find the bridge?
I could lead you there if you let me out.
Ooh, you could do so with your words.
Yes. Yes, I could.
I would much prefer that to the alternative.
Okay, so what does it look like inside the access panel?
We're at the It's red and green, and there are other wires of other colors.
Oh. Can you fit your head inside? Look for a loose wire and lick it.
I'm beginning to doubt your level of familiarity with these access panels.
You're right, I should lead you. That would be better. I think, I was wrong to say I could do it with my words. My mistake.
Could I roll and investigate to see if there's some sort of like ship diagram somewhere around here, like they have in big spaceships that
Yeah.
are usually helpful?
You totally can.
I am merely great at looking for ship for ship diagrams.
What a wonderful matter.
Oh, what's this over here?
So you find a ship's diagram, you see all the different places inside the Golden Prism. This is a cargo ship, so most of it is space for freight. But you see engineering, and you see the bridge, and you see the galley, and you see, people's quarters.
Excellent. So, to the bridge.
Is this guy still like shouting? Or
Well, he's shouting the way Crankor shouts. Because he's got a big wheel on his chest.
I think if they get close enough to hear him, they'll see the yacht.
We could at least put something in his mouth.
Does anyone have any mints? He would probably find that quite pleasurable.
I'm going to
so would I.
I'm going to search the ship for a couple mints.
To the bridge.
I'm great at finding mints.
So, aboard the yacht, you find quite a variety of mints and snacks, many of them imbued with different types of alcohol.
That's not for working. Time to bring that man some soft Scotch mints. Everyone loves the soft kind.
Soft chewing scotch.
Yes. Let's fill that up. Open wide.
What are you gonna do to me?
Open wide. There we go. And we'll just tie that off and be on our way.
So, what I'm seeing here is that you're giving my character some scotch, but you're not giving me any props for this.
Props?
Well, I feel like if you're offering me scotch. Anyway, okay, so carrying
It's on the
on.
shelf. I mean, it's up there.
Sorry, I don't want to choke my DM out right away. That usually comes like session 3, right?
Oh, I'll hold you to that. So, you have given this man with a yacht on his chest some scotch, and you have kept some mints for yourself, and you have a great big gun as well as a stylish gun,
Yes.
and you have 2 radio wristwatches.
Can I turn the pirate one to receive only? Just so I
Sure,
can
make an
listen in.
engineering check.
Can you turn this to receive only?
Let's see.
I mean, an average engineering check would be enough.
Fantastic.
Wow, you can do anything with this that you want.
Oh, make it show pictures of cats.
That's so tempting. But we're busy right now. We're working. Yes, it's receive.
Okay, so we can listen to the pirates.
All right, so you have the wristwatch back?
Yep.
Okay. So do you have the two on your wrist next to each other? What's your
Mine
plan
would be
here?
on my right, and his would be unfamiliarly heavy on my left.
Okay. So you start out through the ship. You're heading bridgeward. All right.
The ship was empty, right?
The ship showed up through the gate completely empty. And
No cargo and no people?
no people. That's all they could scan for. You don't know if there was cargo.
I should ask, are systems up right now, or is it the flashy, dead ship, alien-y type?
The former.
Okay, good. Everything's nice and bright.
Yeah. So the easiest place to get to almost from anywhere on the ship is the cargo bay, because this ship is mostly cargo bay with systems all around it. So you are heading along a corridor, I guess adjacent to a cargo bay. You're going to be going through the galley, but I would like some notice checks from everybody, please.
Yeah, goodbye.
I'm good at noticing things.
Excellent.
Average.
I only noticed the fairly obvious.
I'm still trying to figure out what I've noticed.
Goodbye.
Completely.
Okay, I can lend you some dice.
It's gone forever.
We'll find that after the
Lives in the moon base now.
run. I'm fair at noticing
Okay.
things.
I'm also fair.
All right, thank you. But you said you were good.
I'm good at noticing things.
All right, so you are the first one to hear the conversation happening up ahead.
Oh, a conversation. How scintillating.
So the guards or whoever it is are saying, well, we've got to stand here, but how do they have a galley that has absolutely nothing in it? This is crazy. And, you know, all the food reserves are gone. The logs say they have food for a month.
How unique.
So you're walking toward the galley, where the voices are coming from.
Maybe I'll stop.
Oh, as you wish.
Yeah. Oh, listen. We can overhear people speaking in the galley. They say there is no food aboard the ship, even though they are supposed to have supplies for months of space travel.
I mean, I wasn't going to get into the snacks quite yet.
No, but don't you think that's an unusual tidbit of information that may lead somewhere in our investigations?
These primitive meat sacks eat organic matter that is similar to themselves.
I mean, so do we.
Curious.
So do
Perhaps
these.
I can figure out whether or not something has happened here by checking in with the computer.
Ooh, perhaps. May I use my Evalutron, which is my mobile inspectable box? Evalutron is all organic matter aside from us and the pirates gone?
Processing.
I was going to ask how much blood there was on the ship, but I suppose that'll work too.
So it's going to twirl and work at that. I would like an investigate check, please, because you're also having to do some BP programming on your Evalutron.
Sure. So +1, -2. I'm good.
You're good. So the Evalutron returns a result of minimal organic matter aside from you and the pirates, and the organic matter could possibly be explained away by having two ships come here and just have, you know, like maybe there was a housefly
Space mites.
or space mites, yes.
How unique. All the organic matter on the ship, including the food and the people commanding it, has disappeared. What a delightful circumstance for a mystery.
Yes. So, well done getting that piece of information.
So, do we need to go through the
thanks.
That was
galley,
plot.
or can we go around? Can we avoid
You
the
could,
conversation?
you could back up and try to go through the cargo bay.
It's not a direct route, but they do seem to have stopped for snacks.
Wouldn't the pirates have gone to the cargo bay first? With their simple, greed-based motivations, would they not have gone after the ship's cargo?
We don't know what the ship's cargo is.
Perhaps we can look for a manifest, although that would be probably on the bridge, or perhaps in the captain's quarters where we're likely to encounter hostility.
This slipshod operation probably wouldn't even post correct warnings where they're supposed to be.
So at this point, your options are to go back to the shuttle bay, go forward into the galley, or go into the cargo bay.
Back. Can we get to the bridge from the hangar bay? No, right? Because otherwise we would have.
We have to go through the cargo or through the galley.
Yeah, you got to go through one or the other.
I feel that out of game character, I think we have a better chance of sneaking through if we go through the galley. There's probably going to be more people in the cargo bay.
Probably correct.
But there may also be more hiding opportunities in the cargo bay.
If all the cargo's gone, maybe not. It might just be a big empty football field.
Well, we can glance in and find out.
That's fair. And then we can go...
Listening into the pirate radio chatter, is there any pirate radio chatter?
There is very little. They seem to be pretty task-oriented right now. So I'm trying to think of what they might be talking about. At some point, someone might say, all right, I've checked bunk 4, it's clear.
Okay. Why don't? How about this for a plan? We divert through the cargo bay where we can hide, presumably if the cargo is still here, and if necessary, we could, would it be possible to alter this device so that it produces an ear-piercing shriek, allowing us a way of locating the pirates?
That is what they were originally designed to do, oddly enough.
Well, I mean, the meat flapping noises are terribly unpleasant, yes, but I was thinking more something that singular.
Oh yes, an entirely mechanical origin, high-frequency pulse, yes. They were for parties.
Oh, how delightful.
So I guess I'll alter it now.
So this is the watch you're altering? Okay,
The pirate radio.
got it.
Epic.
Epic. All right, so tell me what this thing does.
It suddenly emits something called Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, all of the other pirate radio devices just emit like a howling squeal that doesn't stop and like pierces their brains. It's like a very specific frequency of like pink noise and nails in a chalkboard.
All right, so
Wait, but we can turn this on, right? Or does it just happen immediately?
I wanted to
Sounds
turn
like
it
it.
on when we...
Yeah, when the cargo bay.
when we're
okay.
in the cargo bay. That way we could hear where the other pirates were.
Ah.
okay. So you're getting to, I guess you're at a door leading into the cargo bay.
Yep.
What's the plan?
Listen at the door.
All right, so I guess you can give me a notice or an investigate, whichever you prefer.
Investigate. I do a great job.
Nice. So there is a scraping sound that you can hear very, very faintly. It's some ways off.
Okay, I think the door's safe to open.
Boop. Open the door.
It opens up, and you see a lot of wooden crates with like all sorts of stuff stenciled on the side. Some of it is in Roman alphabet, some of it is alien. I think that what you're trying to do is look for hostiles, or potentially hostiles.
Yes.
All right. So you immediately notice a guard who's like trying to pry the top off of a crate that he's sort of jimmied open with a crowbar. This is the scraping sound that you heard, Yuri. So what are you going to do?
Wait.
Like you're
guard.
You're right there, and you were like this. If you want to just shoot him, you can shoot him now before anything else happens.
Can I shoot him with the bigger stun rifle?
You had 2 guns. Do what you like.
All right.
Now, You don't get the big bonus with the stun rifle that you do with your personalized mauve pistol,
The +4.
which is a gymongous bonus.
It's huge, yeah. But my shoot skill's actually decent enough.
Well, do
So-
something.
Yeah, I'll shoot him. Yeah,
With?
the stun one.
Okay.
Stun him. He's fairly close, like, right? He would have
He's-
noticed us probably. We're in danger, clearly.
So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to notice you immediately
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Great.
Great, nice. And he sucks at not getting hit. So you hit him with the stun at great, and he is kind of just sort of shuddering. This is the moment where if you want to, you can activate the thing.
How loud a noise was that? The
big
the ray
zap-
gun?
Oh, that was pretty loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's activate the thing.
All right. So this squeal comes out, and you hear it in front of you, and you hear more squealing coming from behind you in the galley. But there's only the one squeal coming from the cargo hold.
Okay.
Is that the information you want from this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, okay.
Quick, give him the scotch.
There was just mince. All the scotch is gone now.
Give him some mints. While he's convulsing from the stun, they will probably be very pleasant to him and not at all the choking hazard. I believe this species' esophagus is quite wide.
We'll fill him with mince and seal it off. Standard operating procedure.
All right. So
I can say I do love the frequency you've chosen. I think I've heard some experimental music to this tune before. Lovely.
Wait, don't these aliens aspire and consume through the same hole in their chest? Ah, it's probably nothing.
So you stuff his mouth full of these mints. The stunning has basically given each of you an action where he can't react at all. So you get up to him, you grab him, you immobilize him, you stuff his face with mints, and you were saying you sealed it off? Is that with like duct tape?
Wait,
or
how far into the box did he get? Did he manage to get the lid off?
he not all the way off. No, he was trying to pull it off. He got the crowbar so that it was unsealed, but it's this really big, heavy oak lid.
Actually, could we do a thing where we just, as he's prying off the crowbar, like he's got the crowbar jammed in the lid, presumably, and it's kind of like springy and not off yet, can we just push him into it?
Sure.
Well, we'd have
And
to
then-
pick him up. Yeah.
And then the lid snaps shut.
All right.
And we seal him in. Yeah.
Yeah, or not even seal him in, just be like,
All right. So you have him inside this ginormous oak crate, and
Is there
put
writing
the
on
lid
the
back
crate?
on. There is, but it's not in English.
yeah,
Could anyone read it out loud to me?
tinned ham.
I mean, could I do like some sort of like, could I expend a fate point to try and remember if I recognize this language or not?
That does sound like one of your aspects.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Research never fails me. Measure of the weird. Let's see
All
what
right.
let's see what if I remember anything here.
Yeah, why don't you give me a lore or an investigate?
Oh, I'll take investigate. I'm much
Sure.
better at investigating.
Because that's your skill for getting stuff out of your little device.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good thing you gave me that +2. So that if you're saying -1 is 5. So that means I'm superb.
You're superb.
Yes.
Well, these are brown coral fish,
Delicious.
packed in ice.
Oh, he will be quite cold, but he will be
Have
well
friends.
fed.
Oh.
If he gets hungry while he's in the box. Excellent.
Brown coral fish are organic.
Wait.
So the ice will be there, not so much the fish.
That one.
Oh.
But if we're lucky, the ice will smell like fish, and he'll be able to imagine a beautiful meal.
Or at least, if we bruised him on the way into the box, he will be following the old adage of rest, ice, elevation, and compression. Because he is resting, he is in ice, he's elevated above us in the box, and We might have caught some of his leg in the lid, so I think that covers all of our bases.
Ah, delightful.
You guys are helpers.
Shall we continue to the bridge?
Well, isn't there one other person in here, or is it?
No.
Oh.
So
was
there
it?
were 2 people in the galley.
Oh.
There was one in the hangar. There is this one in the cargo hold
Yeah, we
Real
know there's a
skeleton
lady
crew.
here giving them orders.
who is not the captain.
Yes.
Does anyone remember how big the ship was that the pirates came here on?
I mean, you just saw it. What it was
Like, is it a 10-person ship
Sure.
or a 1,000-person ship?
more the former.
Okay.
You could fit 10 people in there.
Okay.
20 would be uncomfortable.
Perfect. Okay, good to know. Doopa-doopa-doo.
Doopa-doopa-doo.
Okay.
So as we continue, how about we listen for radio chatter from our friends?
Well, that's you're listening in on that, and you hear the woman you heard earlier talking on your radio, and she's like, Ensign Ermin, why have you left the hangar bay? Ensign Ermin, come in, Ensign Ermin.
Oh, perhaps
Ensign Ermin here.
Why have you... Ensign Ermin, come in, Ensign Ermin.
Yes, sir. Ensign Ermin here.
Ensign Ermin, answer me.
I think we disabled transmission on that
Oh,
voice.
confound it all.
Yes, you did.
No one saw that.
Does it have a text function?
No.
No.
Curses.
But I can probably disable the tracking.
The what now?
You know, the tracking on their communicators. It's just good.
All right, so it's turned off.
Okay.
There's no false data or anything.
Yeah.
They can tell that the tracking has been disabled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not. Actually, now that you put it that way, I could just put it back in the hangar, right? No, just disabled.
All right.
No need to get fancy.
So you're you hand it back.
Yes.
All right. You're heading back to the bow of the ship because you want to find the bridge. The woman's like, all right, I don't know what's happening with Ensign Ermin, but he just disappeared. Everybody check in. And
Oh, they are in for a surprise.
Sounds like a good time to hit the button again.
all right. So you hear from some squealing from the heavy oak box. And how long do you let it squeal?
To the count of 3.
Okay. And so her voice comes in and says, that's really annoying. That's clearly not going to work. All right, I found a way to do a lockdown. I'm going to lock down the entire ship. Everybody meet me in engineering. I'm going to get some Imperial forces over here. Commander Curl, out.
That seems bad for everyone.
Pirates. Pirates and the Empire working together?
How unusual. How exciting.
We must make haste.
To the bridge!
So you hear big clamping sounds coming from all of the doors leaving the cargo hold.
Are we stuck in the cargo hold?
Yes,
Oh dear.
but there's a lot of cargo in here. And I haven't imposed a list on you of what the cargo is. So if some of you are feeling creative, we can work with this.
Laser cutters.
Those
Definitely.
sound unorganic.
Yeah.
Short-range teleportation pads.
Oh yes, they're experimental. They are absolutely there.
Exactly.
If you use
like
one,
them.
I'll give you a fate point.
50-gallon drums of personal sexual lubricant.
We're being hosted on the Witch's channel.
waiting for like spilling over. Making a comical little slip.
Yeah, it was like you gotta grease you up to go through the vents.
Yeah. Okay, we'll say 50.
Look, when I like to calf, I like to be in comfort when I do, and that means I need a lot of lube.
50-gallon drums of non-organic silicon lubricant for various purposes, machine or otherwise.
For your tuba valves.
Correct.
Yes.
I help
haven't
Robbie with the
sworn
cutting
yet.
lasers.
All right, so you've got some cutting lasers, you have some tuba valve lubricant, and you have a teleporter.
With this, I'm pretty sure we can make it to the bridge. If I can make it to the bridge, I can undo this lockdown. Or someone can.
What if we teleport one of the open barrels of tuba valves lubricant into the engineering bay and give it a good swift kick right before it teleports so it spills on
Okay,
over.
there must be something explosive in here.
There must be.
There must be something
Brilliant
explosive in
idea.
here.
But why send the
Pipe bomb.
barrel when we can just send the lubricant?
The barrel of lubricant with an explosive device inside.
But a gentle explosive, so it's more like a coating rather than
Like
like a...
lids off, so it should create a nice...
Oh, a
wanted to
pleasing
something.
shower!
Red. I can get behind this idea.
If they're all slippery, they'll be much easier to immobilize.
Okay, I'll get right on it, punching in the coordinates, I guess, for the teleport pad.
All right, so the teleport pad has never successfully worked, but there are a lot of notes there. All of the people working on it died. So the people who were renting them their laboratory space packed up all the notes and are sending them to the funders back on Earth. That's why they're here aboard the Golden Prism.
Okay.
So you have lots of notes to work with.
Perfect.
All right. So you have a barrel of tuba lube,
Yep.
and you're putting it on the teleporter pad, and you found some like rocket fuel or something, and just walk me through. I'm saying yes. I'm just not 100% clear on what you're actually doing.
A timed charge pipe bomb inside the lubricant. We're going to teleport the barrel of lube with the bomb inside of it to the engineering. It'll explode
Make it a gentle bomb.
and sploosh everywhere.
All right.
You know, we got to make sure this is safe.
Is there a way we can
There's no way we can use this teleporter on ourselves.
Just as a thought, is there a way we could house the explosives inside one of these mints so that as the lubrication slowly eats away at the edge of the mint, the explosive is revealed and then starts the reaction?
Why don't we just put a timer on it?
Yeah.
That won't get as many hits on the the sharing network.
That's true. This will be extraordinarily viral if it succeeds.
Welcome to your new hyper laser.
So does checking the notes count for, I remember that in the manual?
I would think so.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely like some assistance on that.
All right. Now, there is a problem that all of this is extremely sloppy. There's just there's the lube everywhere, and it's kind of gloopy.
It's just, it's contained. It's very clean. We just took the lid off.
If I
all
may
we
interject, this is one of those times when I think the procedures matter. I seem to be fairly adept at dealing with large amounts of written material. Could I offer some assistance? Maybe do the heavy mind lifting while you do the heavy slippery lifting.
So, yes, you can. I am offering you a fate point if you're going
what
to
a
be
compel?
fussy. Yes. Now you don't have to take it. You can give me a fate point to ignore this, but you are distressed by the sloppiness all around you, and it's just going to be problematic
I'll
for
give you
you.
another paint.
All right. So you are ignoring my compel.
Yes.
All right, so you've got this barrel, you've got this pipe bomb, that is going to be triggered by the teleport? Or
timer.
is it... Oh, it's a timer.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So, how long are you setting the timer for?
How long does the teleport take?
You're not sure.
1
Presumably it's
minute.
instantaneous.
1 minute.
All right. So, you set it for a minute, and then you get to work on the teleporter.
Oh, no.
No.
No. Get the teleporter set up.
So
Ready.
it's in position and all that. Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't... Yes.
Okay, yeah, and then...
And then you're going to try to activate it,
Yes.
is what I meant.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, everything is set up. You've already been helping out. You've done the heavy lifting. You have the tuba substance with its pipe bomb full of rocket fuel.
Can I attach a note to it?
Yes, you can.
All right, I will say, sorry for the trouble.
Ensign Ermin.
What a good idea! That will leave them quite puzzled, especially as I assume my handwriting is nothing like his.
And I'm thinking you're on the stationery from Duke Digglesworth. That's where you got the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe there's like a shipment of like Hilton notepads.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Space Hilton.
I'm sure it's still around 1,000 years from now. All
Everyone
right.
needs a reasonably priced place to stay while out in the outer reaches.
So, give me this engineering check to do a thing that has never successfully been done.
Legendary.
Wow. That was your target. I'm like, she's probably going to get an epic, and then I can tell her she fails. Wow. All right. Well, then it's just going to work. So, and it was so fast. You set the timer, you push the button, you're legendary, it pops off.
All right, let's get the doors open.
Tab B.
So, about 30 seconds later, you hear a lot of panicked banging.
It takes care of them.
Do I hear any pratfalls? Like, oh.
There's kind of a pop, and the ship kind of lurches slightly. Not explosive lurching. We're not at a minute yet.
Yeah.
And you probably have a timer. You know when the minute's coming up. So you've got your laser cutter, and you're near. Maybe you're already working on
Yeah.
a door, and then it's like 5.
I'm just chuckling.
And then there is an explosion, but it's not as though the explosion were in the ship. But the whole ship kind of lurches before the artificial gravity settles you back in.
I don't think it went to engineering. Well, we'll find out later. Out we go.
So you have opened up a door, and as you're doing this, all the, I guess, you've opened up an opening into the other corridor, and as you're doing this, the air starts whistling through the hole that you're creating. So you keep opening the hole,
Yeah.
and then more and more air is going out, and your ears start to pop.
Maybe we should seal this.
You open the door some more.
Maybe we should just
You
find
sort of-
some air suits, some
Normal suits.
vacuum normal suits. Yes.
Get inside.
There certainly were some in the yacht. There'd probably be some in the hangar bay, even not on the yacht. There might be some in engineering.
Are there none in the cargo bay?
Well, there are no full spacesuits in the cargo bay. I gave you a chance earlier to tell me everything was in the cargo bay.
Yeah,
No one
that's
said spacesuits. So, there are some inorganic things that you could try to use. What's that? Is it you're always supposed to put a plastic bag over your head? Or
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, there are some garbage bags.
Back to the hangar.
Okay, I'm just gonna slap a
One of
board
the garbage
against-
bags and put some boards against it.
Oh,
The internal pressure will just keep it there.
how exciting. Let us
Okay.
go the other way.
The galley. Yes, we can go through the galley. All of the guards were called to engineering.
Yes, which I'm sure is still there. Let's go.
All right, so you go back to the door that you came through in the first place, and it's sealed because remember all the doors got sealed
Everything's on
from
lockdown.
engineering.
So cut this one.
All right, the happy whistling sound happens, the one you like so much when the air goes through.
That's odd.
What did we do to the rest of the ship? Wait, can I use my Evaluatron?
Sure,
All right. Do I need to
I'll
roll
cover
for
this
that?
one for the time being.
sure. I don't know what you're trying to find out.
I'm just gonna say, Evaluatron, how much of the ship is around? Like, did large portions of the ship go away?
So I just need a fare from you to make that work.
Beep, 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 beep. I got, so that's an investigate roll? Mm-hmm. Let's do, well, I got a superb. Because I'm very
Nice.
good at investigating things.
All right, so most of the ship is still there, but there was a shrapnel explosion from nearby that seems to have punctured a lot of things. But I think with a superb, you would know that, engineering is still there, for example.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad everyone's safe.
So you're in this cargo bay. You got lots of plastic bags. You have lots of ice. You have a prisoner. You have, I think, 1 barrel of tuba lubricant left.
Are there any like air vent Jeffries tubes type maintenance hatches?
Yes, they would have been sealed when everything was sealed when they pulled the big switch. But yes, there absolutely are some
I
Jeffries
just want to
tubes
check
making
them
hatches.
for air containment, so I'll start cutting into one of those.
Okay.
'Cause they should be isolated.
They should be isolated. I think they would be isolated.
I have an idea. You made that thing work once before. If you do everything exactly the same, we can get to engineering that way.
We don't want to go to engineering. We want to go to the
engineering's
bridge.
not our target.
Want to get out of here at least.
Let's go through a tube. It's been many years since I've been through a tube.
Tubes. While I do enjoy tubes, these tubes seem a little bit smaller than what I'm used to.
Well, luckily there is a massive quantity of tuba valve lubricant that should make our journey much smoother, both literally and figuratively.
Ah, yes, tuba. If we're going inside a tube.
Tuba lube.
Also describes what you can put the lube into before for easy distribution of the tuba lube.
Tuba loop.
Tuba lube.
It's the main export of Tuvalu.
I'm not sure if
I
that's
volunteer to use the teleporter.
Using the teleporter does sound less sloppy than covering yourselves in a tuba lube.
That is true, and we know that it does something.
I would rather go through the tunnel. You had to roll a superb to get it to work.
I know. But who's to say I couldn't again? Maybe it's all set already. I just hit the same button.
That was my thought, is that you
You end up
figured,
in the middle of a shrapnel explosion.
you figured out how to do it once. If you do everything exactly the same again, maybe it works.
You could do an engineering roll to create an aspect of I did this once, and that would give you a +2 on doing the exact same thing one more time.
Okay, let's go for it. You're volunteering, Yuri? I mean,
Yes.
the tunnels seem nice.
Are the tunnels isolated? Can we use the tunnels to get to the bridge?
Yeah, but you'd have to lube up using tuba lube.
Can I just point out, Inspector Sayre is already elbow deep in the lubricant saying, "So smooth and glidey."
I volunteer.
Okay, so how does this work
So-
for creating an aspect?
You're just making an engineering roll.
Good.
All right, that's going to give you a boost, which means this will work once.
Okay.
So you can activate it and send all 4 of you.
Okay.
Directly to the bridge?
No,
To engineering.
Yeah.
because that's what all the settings are.
Right.
That's what you know how to do.
Maybe we should get some plastic bags.
Yeah, you can wrap your heads in plastic bags.
And some ice.
Just to keep our body core temperature low so that we can be picked up later. Okay. Okay, all ready?
But the engineering isn't where we need to go.
Well, we need to go to engineering to shut off the lockdown so that we can get to the bridge, to get the tape, to get off here, to get back to the station.
I don't want to go in the nasty tunnels.
The nasty pirates are far more threatening.
Not up to this point.
I think you're in control. I think if you're saying we're teleporting, you're pushing the button.
But I can push. You volunteered. We're all going. We're all in this.
How did you say the test crew died?
I didn't. I don't know.
Can I skim
The
the
records
notes?
just stop.
Wow, I did very badly on skimming the notes for notice, so I got an average. Something about being turned inside out and then right side up again, but it's a very long and specific write-up, so I only skimmed it.
That was only the animal tests, not the crew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no records from the crew.
We're far too intelligent to be turned upside down and inside out.
We?
Are you hitting the button?
Yeah.
All right. So you have a bunch of lube. It sounds like
to the elbows on both hands.
many of you have plastic bags.
I'm Ice Santa at this point.
So just a fantastic.
All right. Well, a fantastic with your +2, or is that a
That's
fantastic
with-
including your +2?
That's including.
All right. So, is there anything you would like to do to increase this number, or shall I tell you?
Can I take another aspect?
Yes, it would have to be a different aspect.
I remember this from manual.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, so
That'll give you a +2
That's my legendary.
with your legendary, which is your target.
Yes.
All right. So you guys show up in engineering. And you look like your pictures, except with plastic bags and lube up to the elbows.
Yes.
And in engineering are 3 people. There is 1 woman and 2 men. And they are frantically putting stuff up against little puncture holes all over engineering. And you can see a whole bunch of these hasty bandages. You also see that there's an exit to space that is like for evac, that it looks like they hit the emergency open and the door itself is gone, but there's some sort of great big tarp over it that the pressure from the air inside is pushing the tarp out, but they've like staple gunned it all the way around. So there's a little bit of air escaping, and you're looking at it and you're like, that's very sloppily done. But it's mostly intact. And they turn to you, and the woman says, "Finally, our Imperial reinforcements."
We were delayed because we found a bucket of lubricant. Here, have some lubricant. And I shake her hand.
She somewhat taken aback, and she says, "So I don't know what's happening here, but this ship is empty of people, and there are explosions and static happening. So what I need from you is to get this ship running, because this is ours now. We salvaged it in Imperial space, so I demand that you help us get this ship and its cargo back to Ceti."
All right, first thing, we need to disable the lockdown.
And get to the bridge. So we may
regain control of the ship.
and then hand it over to you officially.
I see. All right. Well, Lieutenant Lair, will you go with them to the bridge? No, I'm going to stay and watch what you do. I am your commanding officer. I answer to Captain Kennel, and he wants to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Well, then I'll go with them to the bridge, and you stay here in engineering. Okay, I'll do that. So, we're going to need some helmets, and I see you already have some plastic bags. You can use those if you prefer, but we have some great big glass helmets over here. They work for the Ceti millers. I don't know if they work for humans, but this is a human ship, so I'm guessing it'll be okay for you.
Can I like an engineering check to see
You
if they
can.
produce oxygen at least?
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
All right. So, I need you guys to make a spacesuit check for me. I need you to be at least mediocre to keep your helmets airtight for a trip from here to the bridge. If
I
you're
use-
average, then it'll even be longer.
What? So like what skill are we checking against?
Spacesuit.
Spacesuit. I don't have spacesuit.
Can I substitute crafts? Apply some plastic bag and duct tape.
What about resources?
So resources is like how much cash you have buying people off.
That's fine.
This is just a straight, honest.
Straight honest roll to see if you.
So if you want to get fancy with crafts, I'll let you do it at -2.
Okay.
I'm even at a mediocre, by the way.
Hey, all right.
I need a mediocre. That's all I need.
I'm average.
Wow, you're even better.
Fair.
I do poorly.
You do poorly. All right. So you guys get through the airlock, and your helmet is immediately fogged up and whistling.
Okay, let's move quickly.
Help! No, help me!
Take my hand. It's covered in helpful lubricant.
So
You blithering fools, help me!
you do have a garbage bag, as I recall.
Oh, perfect!
If you use a craft check, you can try to seal what air you have in there. Your ears have popped. You're probably going to have a nosebleed.
4 on crafts. So a great job.
All right. So with this great job you've done on crafts, you have rapidly depressurized, but you have enough air in there that you can breathe. But it's very unpleasant. It'll get you to the bridge.
Hot diggity.
It probably looks ridiculous.
More so than usual.
Yes, there might be some damage from this, but you can go get yourself checked out in the sick bay once you're back in the station.
What?
All right, so Commander Curl is striding through the airless corridors, and
I'm striding as well. It's matching the style.
While we are walking, can I ask the Evaluatron to see if anything interesting is of note? Any signs of conflict, distress, like a fight, aside from everything that we've been doing, right? Like that would have explained why all the organic matter is gone from the ship.
sure, go ahead.
I am merely good at doing that.
Can't find anything.
Okay.
All right,
But yeah, worth checking.
worth checking, sure. So you get up to the bridge where she does the other half of the thing she did back in engineering, and this starts to unseal, but there's no airlock here. So she's like, okay, quick, run! And she sprints into the bridge.
Let's follow her.
Okay.
And then she slaps the emergency close, and the door comes, and she's like, okay, takes her helmet off.
I
Unravel
do
my
the same.
bags. Yeah.
All right. So pressure comes back in. Your ears pop again.
Ow!
Yeah, I feel like you've probably got a bunch of burst blood vessels. And maybe you're hard of hearing for a little while.
My flawless complexion.
Yuri, you look so excited.
Well, it was very exciting, nearly terminally so.
So one interesting thing is that there are 4 suits of clothing in the bridge, empty, just kind of lying around.
Oh, like
They all
the
got naked.
like the people like sort of like poofed away kind of thing.
That would result in this, yes.
Oh, how exciting.
And the commander's like, yeah, just ignore those. Those were here when we got here. So what I need is for this ship to get back to Tau Ceti.
All right, one moment.
You sure you wouldn't want to do some repairs at Upsilon Station?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm telling you to do. Do the repairs. We're at Upsilon Station.
Oh.
And then I need to take this cargo back home.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Who's going to pilot it back to Tau Ceti? There's got to be an autopilot. I want to investigate these suits.
You're the only pilot.
Oh, no. All right, it's like, we shall take... Excellent. What is
So your
the
plan is to
Imperial-
actually...
The Imperial place, like, what is... Sorry, this is a lore thing.
The Earth Empire?
The Earth Empire.
Okay.
Yes, excellent. The Earth Empire agrees to your plan. Let me just conduct some readings for my boss.
So,
Well, do whatever you need to do.
Curl, how have your people been moving through the star tunnels?
Well,
It's so far confounded the Empire.
so we're at the gate here, and I mean, the gate will lead you from here to Tau Ceti. There are tunnels in there, and we know that the humans can go in and out of the gate. So I think what you're actually asking me is for our map of the locations that the Earth Empire hasn't found yet. And I would be executed for treason if I gave that to you.
Out of character.
Yes.
I thought moving through the star tunnels was like basically like becoming increasingly hazardous.
Yes, absolutely. It is becoming increasingly maybe I'm misunderstanding your question.
Because they came through the star tunnel.
Yes, some ships do make it through. It is becoming increasingly hazardous, but not 100% hazardous.
Okay, that's what I was asking her.
Okay.
Is how are your people so confident moving through the star tunnels repeatedly?
I understand now. Well, no one would dare to attack a ship from Tau Ceti. We have had a ship or two go missing on the Earth run, but we have not determined that they are missing forever. Unlike the Earth Imperial pilots, our pilots have wide discretionary authority to sometimes take on side missions or sometimes do things that are unexpected. For example, I myself have not been in command of a spaceship until this very moment. And so...
Congratulations.
Thank you. So as soon as you get my very first ship up and running, we will get on our way.
While all that was happening,
Yeah.
I rolled a fantastic on investigating the suits.
All right. So your initial theorem is absolutely correct. Like, you can see how things are tucked away. These are all synthetics. So, for example, it's very in fashion right now to wear 100% cotton underwear, and there's no 100% cotton underwear anywhere in these suits.
Unique.
It is the fashion.
Breathability is a very key concern for many
The
organic
softness
life forms.
close to your exterior.
Yes.
Also, cotton is organic.
Yes. So no underdrawers, yet
suit-
all synthetic.
All the
suits have
synthetics
never
remain
been cleaner.
behind.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a good point. There'd be dirt, but, you know, the sweat stains and such.
Oil is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no like oil, there's no like skin cells or anything like that. It's just like a perfectly clean uniform, but draped across a chair like it just like dropped where it landed.
Right, and like one of them has the sleeves tucked into the gloves and stuff like that.
Wow, someone is having a very excited trip to somewhere else while nude, which I think adds a whole new dimension.
Or perhaps while wearing cotton underwear.
Hauling a lot of lubricant.
There are tuba players who need this. Maybe trombone. They have that big slide.
While I'm speaking with Kroll, can I be searching for the magnetic tape?
I was going to do that.
Oh,
while
okay.
you were keeping Pearl distracted.
Oh, okay. Well, that works too then.
All right, so I need a fair engineering check from you. And I would like a rapport check from you.
Uh-oh. I'm quite terrible at that.
But I'm great.
You are great, Corey. So you found the tapes. You can just pull them out.
That's totally just ripping the tape out.
All right, so a klaxon goes off because it's illegal to run a ship without tapes in it. And so different people do different things to warn themselves, oh, hey, you'd better do this. Turns out these guys put a klaxon in there. So,
Turns out these guys put a klaxon in there.
so Commander Curl is no longer interested in talking to you. She's coming over and like, what are you doing? I need those tapes in there if I'm going to captain the ship home.
Commander Curl, if I may interject with you. Ooh, okay, that's a... Well, that's not going to work out so well, but it's a mediocre roll on rapport.
Okay.
But what we're doing for you is, at this point, a courtesy. This is, in fact, your ship, is it not?
It is my ship. But it's in Imperial space, so you must serve me and service my ship.
Oh, most certainly, which means you need fresh tapes. This is your ship. The actions of your command are what's going to be on the record of this ship if it is to be yours.
Also, these ones are almost full. They were only meant to go like one way.
So I think I need a deceive check from somebody who's involved in all this.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll give that a try.
But I did like the way you were insisting on procedures.
Thank you. Ooh. Fair.
All right, well, let's see how I am at figuring out what you're doing. I am average at figuring out what you're doing, so I think I'm going to buy it. All right, well, get me my new tapes then.
Right, we'll just have to radio over for them.
Let's pilot this thing to the station.
Hold on a second here.
We can't pilot it with the tapes pulled.
You could take the ship you came on. Why don't you do that? Why don't you get back in your ship and go over to the station and get me my new tapes?
Immediately. Let's put on our headgear.
I ask one of you to help.
Can I help with crafts?
Sure.
Adequate.
Do you want
All
me
right.
to roll for this? For putting my headgear back on?
Only if you're going back to the yacht.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going back. We're all going back, I assume, with the tapes, correct?
Yep.
I did pour.
We only-
Exciting.
Hey!
Average
I
this
did average
Have a
again.
notice check, please.
Can I help? Can I help?
Average.
So, you notice that Robbie made the same mistake you made last time.
Oh, here, can I help?
Oh, please.
So, that'll boost you up. You're now mediocre.
Okay.
And you won't fog up and have a face full of
Wait,
blood
yeah.
the way he has.
Before you go,
Righty-tighty.
before you go, could you turn off the klaxon so our good friend does not have to listen to it while we're getting the,
yeah.
the tapes?
Actually, is it possible at all just to make a copy of the tapes?
Yes.
Do we?
Why don't we just do that instead?
instead of pulling the
Because
tapes?
the ship can't fly without the tapes. And it might be advantageous to not have the ship fly.
It would be illegal
Oh.
for the ship to fly without the tapes.
What kind of pirate is concerned with legality?
Seems these ones, for some reason.
I'm going to
She
turn off
thinks
the
you're the
klaxon.
cops.
Oh,
Oh, well.
Don't you have some kind of letter of
fantastic.
mark?
Okay.
all right,
Klaxon's done. Let's
wait.
get back to the...
What is it? We have turned off the klaxon for your convenience, and as the ship is yours, it is free for you to fly. And if you perhaps wanted to leave ahead of schedule, well, the Empire will not look the other way.
I believe you.
Back to the hangar.
All right. So, you slap the door open. She's like, ah! And her green hair is all like billowing out toward the open door, and she's like, "My beehive!" And
Did you say something?
you guys run out, and she, sort of is pulled and after you're out, she slaps the door
I
closed.
kind of wanted to see how long I can keep her on the line before she can close that door.
No, she's a very nice lady. She's very helpfully stupid.
Humans make the best faces when they're running out of air.
I mean, she's not a human.
Good point.
All right. So, you get back to the hangar, where the ship is still parked on top of someone.
Good.
How's he doing?
The hangar was not punctured, so you didn't kill him. But he's going to have a pretty enormous set of bruises.
Let's shoot him with the stun gun before we take off.
Yeah, it's going to work. All right. So, you hop in the yacht. Now, as you left Space Station Upsilon, the robot guard was trudging back to get his boss.
We're
I don't know if you have a plan for that. I will point out that there is also a 10-person shuttle here.
The pirate
Yeah.
shuttle.
Why don't we take the 10-person pirate shuttle in lieu of the
Because it's
stolen
hideous?
yacht?
It is hideous. This is a valid point. It's green. You're in this lovely sort of bulbous tapered rocket with rings around it.
Could we set
It's almost like a shoebox.
Could we set Baron Bumblepot's space yacht to autopilot to return to the hangar?
Duke Digglesworth.
Duke Digglesworth. Can't be bothered to keep all these barbarian titles straight.
Yes, let's send him back his ship. He will be pleased to see that it has arrived mostly unharmed, except for some small abrasions on the wheel where we ran over that man somewhat unfortunately.
It was quite soft, though.
Oh, it was my finest moment as a pilot, and I have very few, so I can say that conclusively.
So, if you set the autopilot, it'll go into basically station keeping, where it will go near the station, but it won't shove itself into the Space Station Upsilon hangar bay.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Could we use that as a... What I hope to do here is use that as a distraction while we use the pirate lander to return indiscreetly to the station by some
What
other
if-
mechanism.
We put Ensign Ermin on. Give him back his communicator. So
Oh,
every
he's
time
In
he
the
tries,
yacht.
so every time he tries to communicate, it makes the squealing noise again.
Ensign Ermin's going to have a very poor day. It will definitely be his top 10 worst days, somewhere in there.
I'd like to re-enable the tracking on it though.
How delightfully irritating.
All right, so the tracking is on, and anytime he tries to talk, everybody's communicator squeals. All right, and he is stunned and on the yacht.
Yes.
And then you guys take the shuttlecraft and you leave the Golden Prism.
Yes.
Could
All
we
right.
do the thing where the yacht is slowly going back to the Golden Prism, and we're in between, the yacht is in between us and the Golden Prism, right? So
For the station Upsilon?
yeah, the station. So it's the
we're
station.
trying to hide
Then
from.
there's the yacht, and then there's us sort of coming up beside, so they can't see us immediately
From the bridge of the
You
Golden
can
Prism.
absolutely try to do that.
from the.
How good a pilot are you?
Not great, but
Well-
I'm the only one with any skill in it.
You
so-
haven't pinged any of your aspects yet.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I'm gonna say research never fails me, and I've definitely read some books on this.
All right, that'll give you a +2.
Good. So that gives me fair.
All right. Well, and that's what you are. You are fair at keeping the yacht between you and Station Upsilon. Now, everyone who's not busy desperately trying to stay in position can give me a notice check if you like.
Fair.
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
So, Robbie, the real Imperial reinforcements
Are coming up.
are coming toward you. Now, there is no way they are going to miss seeing you, even though you are fair at keeping the yacht between you and the station. Do you care? Maybe it's fine.
Should we communicate with them? The people on board, the commander said that she had summoned the Imperials to help with the ship. So they have been in communication.
Okay,
think if-
your window is closing.
I think
Okay.
if anything, this is just going to cause more confusion for them on that ship, which is exactly what we want.
Okay, just like, hailing Imperial forces. This is Commander Cruel. We don't need you anymore. Thank you. We'll be on our way shortly.
I would like a deceive check, please.
Mediocre.
Commander Curl, this is Colonel Carson Creeley.
Colonel Carson Greeley.
We're gonna inspect the ship that you have commandeered. Before you sail off with it, we understand there might be stuff on there that belongs to the Marines, and we're gonna take that back.
Fair enough. My men will see you on board.
Meet us on the bridge.
Meet us on the bridge.
I'll see you there soon. We'll inspect whatever we want before we get there. This is Earth Empire Space now, ya pirate. Then you sign off?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That will be a very exciting time for them.
Now, let's see. Stanley.
Hey.
Hey, Stanley, do you think you can get to the hangar? Where are you right now?
They said that we were coming up on Neptune.
The big pirate ship is still there, right?
No,
No?
it left.
It left.
I'm going to Earth where there are parties.
Yeah. Okay. Have fun.
Thanks.
They
So we.
Stanley. What?
As long as Stanley stays at the party, everything's going to be fine.
I don't know what that actually means. I don't know how pirates party from Tau Ceti.
I would
Inspector, do you think we can catch them at all?
In this ship?
Yeah, there's no chance.
There's I don't think. Let's see. What about? Let's see.
I feel like as an engineer, you would, once she's like no, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. There's no way these engines are gonna get us.
How much do I know about the Tau Ceti? Let me see if I can remember something
Sure.
about how hard they party. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna say that's like lore. So that's -2 plus. I can just cancel. I can just
Yeah.
cancel the pluses and the minuses. So that gives me a great. I'm
Wow.
great at lore. I know a bunch about these space.
So
pirates.
you've heard lots of stories about their parties. They love them some space pirate parties. They're talking about Earth parties though, and Earth is a lovely hedonistic paradise according to some. I'm guessing most of you have visited Earth.
Oh yes.
Perhaps some of you are from there. So there are lots of party spots.
All
People
right.
speak highly of Mardi Gras.
Do Tau Ceti pirates usually get to go to Earth, the seat of Imperial power?
So they are claiming to be a freighter with
Oh, okay.
documents. So
Oh.
couriers can go.
Okay.
On the bright side, I believe that they will be extremely, as the children of today say, slizzard by the time they get to Earth. So I think we have some time for them to recuperate and drink some fizzy beverages to rehydrate and replenish their bodily salts.
Because who doesn't like to be slizzard?
How
Not all the
inconspicuous is
time.
how inconspicuous is Stanley?
He's probably the only human on a Tau Ceti ship. But if they just drop him off on Earth, he'll blend right in because he's a human.
We have to go and recover him.
Okay, well, right now, you've got your shuttlecraft coming in, and you see up on the monitor you're being asked for your identity code so that they can authorize you to take a parking spot in the hangar. Are you using your real identity code?
No.
Okay.
Is there any kind of let me look around to see if there's any kind of like post-it note like thing that you would normally keep like where your identity codes are so you can read them off handily.
And I'm gonna give you a +2 because you have the right equipment for analyzing all this stuff.
Little Evaluatron, find me credentials. Can I roll investigate on this or what?
Yeah, this is an investigate.
Okay, great. So in that case, I'm fantastic at it.
Oh, that is not what that facial expression seems to convey.
Remember when she was merely great before?
Well, this is I was like, oh no, I'm rolling. Okay, +2, but then I was like, oh, I can use investigate. Fantastic.
All right.
It's my one good skill.
So your Evaluatron gives you the sort of the ID code that you need to say, yes, I'm, Commander Girl's pilot. And so you get given a parking spot, but it's near the exit, and you are told to wait in the shuttle until some Marines can come escort the aliens, because you were not originally going to be visiting the station.
Fair enough.
So, you take the parking spot assigned? Mm-hmm. All right, so the Marines are keeping you waiting. There's no one outside.
Are there any other exits to this particular ship?
So you're, I'm kind of picturing just a great big minivan.
Okay. Okay, I mean, why don't we
Just slide out the
just
side.
leave?
Yeah, you've been told not to because as aliens, they need to check you out before you wander around aboard Space Station Upsilon.
But we aren't aliens.
But it is procedure.
It is procedure.
But they'll
But
be
I'm
looking
following it to the letter.
because we're supposed to be checking out for aliens and we are humans, clearly. Also, then they'll be looking for Ceti aboard, and we are not.
True, which means we have nothing to fear from this investigation.
So I think you either follow the procedure or you give me a fate point.
I'm specifically going to actually, no, I'm just going to follow. I'm going to give you a fate point.
All right, thanks. Okay, so you hop out of the minivan and you're free to wander around. One place that is really good for being inconspicuous is Big Hank's because there's lots of smoke and it's usually very loud. You're gonna have to grab some sort of adapter if you want to play the magnetic tapes through the table console.
Exactly what I wanted to do.
But you, like, literally an hour ago, you were looking at the electronics of the table console, so you know what you need.
Yeah, and today feels like a full half a Hank day.
Hank and a half.
I might be at 2.3 Hanks.
All right, so you can stop by at the electronics shop.
Video hut.
And yes, the video hut. Thank you. And you
Tape
can
adapter, yes.
So a tape adapter. You're going to have to give me a resources check. Now I do think you have a stunt.
But like, it's not going to be expensive.
Not too expensive, no.
What you looking for? You're not going to tell me? You just want me to use my stunt?
I mean, I wanted
And
to
be
make sure
a
you
criminal?
I wanted to tell you that your stunt was
Galen.
available. I just need a fair resources check from you.
Wait, what do we need?
An adapter.
This?
Oh, you have an adapter?
I have that.
Oh, well.
Oh. I've got an average, but yeah.
While we're at Video Hut, can I see if I can pick up a new pair of headphones?
Yeah, that would need an average resources check. But yeah, you've got the adapter. You just pulled it out of a pocket of your lab coat.
I succeed and purchase a new set of headphones with noise-canceling capabilities because I would like to listen to some of that pink noise you generated again. It reminds me of an Earth artist from way back in the day called Mersbo that I find quite extraordinary.
Bum, 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 bum. Wow.
I've been waiting to do that joke for a long
Hey,
time.
kids!
Let me do my dumb jokes.
No one was going to stop you.
This is kind of a campaign where we get to do all our dumb jokes.
You've played with me before. You know I'm all about the dumb jokes.
I did the Frank Sinatra classical music one.
Yeah.
I
All right.
got it.
Okay, so you head back to Big Hank's. The party has ended, but there are lots of people here. There's tons of noise. You guys can get your Hank and a half, or whatever it is you like. I mean, it's a full bar. It's just that's the special of Big Hank's. And I need an engineering check for you to plug all this in and find out what's going on.
Average.
Average. Well, that's going to take some time.
We're just not feeling it today.
All right.
Like 1 Hank or 2 Hanks?
This might be a 2-Hank job. So you have your gimlets, and you make sure there's enough smoke nearby that if
Chain
you're
smoking.
if you're talking without moving your mouth too much, no one can possibly see it.
Are there any portholes in Big Hank's?
Yes, there was the one you were looking out earlier.
Oh, fantastic. Can I just, occasionally look out the porthole to see what sort of shenanigans are happening on that ship now that the Imperial forces have shown up?
So I feel like every once in a while you look out and there's some different shenanigan going on. And so at one point you see that the entire Golden Prism is bathed in spotlights from the Marine ship. And then you see that the Marine ship is docked on the other side, and there are people who are trying to sneak out of the tarped over engineering door. And then you see like a bunch of Marines running across the hull and someone out in front. And this is all kind of slow motion because they're in magnetic boots. And there are probably someone else do one.
Can I say that at some point a smaller ship tries to leave and then gets captured by a tractor beam and then turns around and does a out from hell's heart I stab kind of maneuver, but then they're stopped because they're still in a tractor beam and then they get pulled out and they're looking very embarrassed.
Meanwhile, a large globe of liquid drifts slowly between the two machines towards
Maybe one of them crates of ice is now in space and is spilled open.
Maybe they're using their claw to try to get the worker bee back so that they can escape on
But
that.
they can't because
Meanwhile-
it's too slippery.
Right.
The yacht is circling the thing. And they're
Right.
probably trying to also retrieve that.
Several people are having extremely exciting days. How delightful for them. That will be a good memory later.
I think Yakety Sax is playing.
Yeah. So most people aren't arm deep in this console.
I enjoy classical music.
All right, so eventually, after enough gin and lime juice and cigarettes,
Just one after the other.
you get this thing to play. And you find out the information that you need. So inside the tunnels, there are all these various things, sectors, and people have been trying to map it. And the human maps don't quite match up with the Ceti maps. Everybody's explored different parts, and exploring it is dangerous and difficult, but you're familiar with a variety of maps. This is all in accordance with the human mapping thing. And you can see that the ship was totally fine until it got to Startunnels sector Romeo Sierra, where it encountered a great big device that was shining some energy into the side of the star tunnel. And that's where the log ends. But it gives you the energy signature of the ray that was going into the side.
Cool.
I hear dice rattling.
Science!
So, this is science to do with the star tunnel composition.
Okay.
which I believe you have a bonus on.
Cantankerous irascible scientist? Oh yes, as superb. You have +5 bonus to skill checks to maintain a start level.
Yes.
Wow.
Magnificent. Good.
By
Ugh.
which you mean superb.
By which I mean +4, +9, -2. Epic.
All right.
Epic lol.
Good work, Dr. Armstrong.
So, this is going to work, this energy signature. This will actually burrow through the side of the tunnel, which should not be possible. These should last forever. The star tunnels were dug into the walls of the universe. So there are lots of universes, walls separate them. Think of them as just made of rock. That's completely wrong, but it is the best that the language can do at this point. And it's rock that's impervious to anything other than the tools that created the star tunnels in the first place, but with enough trial and error, the technology level of humanity 1,000 years from our present is enough that you could theoretically damage it, and that's what they've done. They've got something here that is damaging the wall of the star tunnel.
How irritatingly impressive.
Yes.
Not bad for a species that only 5,000 years ago was still afraid of the sun.
That said, regardless of the fractions of Hank that we may be able to procure from them, we can't allow this to continue.
So they have a picture of the machine, and it's this big box-like kind of cobbled together thing, but it does have big green circles hanging on it. You've seen big green circles somewhere recently.
Can I,
The Duke.
Nope. What were you going to do?
can I use an aspect on that?
Sure.
I've seen something like this written up once. That's only going to give me a, one more.
Circles.
Big green circles.
2, so +2 on that. Plus the die is going to be great.
So there were big green circles on some of the banners here in Big Hank's at the
Yeah,
party.
Romeo, Sierra, we've done it.
Well, that seems rather convenient.
So,
Hank!
Hank has stepped out, but one of the servers can come over. She kind of tears herself away from the porthole. Most of the people in Big Hank seem to be moving toward the porthole. She comes over and she's like, yeah?
You, food servant, who booked this venue earlier today?
The-
The Romeo Sierra people.
The green circle?
Yes,
So I could look up her name.
that would be perfect. Thank you.
All right, I'll go do that. And people are...
Why is everybody looking? Why is everybody looking out the windows? Perhaps more excitement happening outside. How novel!
I'm sure it's something we'll hear about later.
So you don't go look at what's happening outside the porthole.
Someone might.
I want to look outside at what's happening out the porthole. I love novelty.
All right.
Very few. The universe is filled with so many interesting things. Many of them are unique.
Perhaps one of them jettisoned a tapir bone through a portal, and they're all marveling at it.
So, an enormous snake with like tiger stripes is winding its way out of the star tunnel, and people are oohing and awing, and it's all it can do for this thing to squeeze its way out of the tunnel. It's already a mile long and it isn't close to stopping. People think it's gorgeous, and the four of you look at it and you're thinking, wow, that's really small for one of those, and you just have a tight ball of terror in your gut. And I think that's where we're going to end. So, thank you for watching Dice Friends. This has been episode 1 of Enigma of the Startunnels.